And
recorded.
we're up.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Feels good.
I gotta see if we can do a night where we'll play Ready or Not again. Because have you seen some of the new updates with it?
No, I have not.
Yeah. It did, yeah.
But Ron is not a game that I'm like all that into, but like it's not terrible. I just suck at it.
But well, fair. I get it though. Like,
I'm old. My reaction time is not what it used to be.
I mean, I get it. That's why I stick with racing.
Yeah.
I'm now firmly in the
Firm.
retired from esports gaming thing.
Yes.
Because like I could still do a shooter decently, but I could tell I'm hitting that cliff where it's like, all right, you know, we're hitting that point, buddy.
Yes.
I wish there were like some good newer. Let me fucking get rid of this fucking fuck.
And banned.
Thank you.
Yeah, we don't do that.
No.
No. No, we don't do that.
No.
We don't do that.
You go away.
Why can I not find our stream?
Have you tried Alt F4?
Right.
God, I wish I was around during the early days of the internet when people asked that fucking question.
Dude, it was hilarious, like when it first came out, because people fell for it.
How do I full screen Alt F4? User is disconnected. Just oh man.
Oh, like back in Diablo, back in those days. It was like, hey, have you guys tried the new dupe trick? You walk towards an item and you click on it, and then you hit Alt F4 and it'll dupe the item. And you would just see like maps clear out instantly. Oh, it was glorious.
It's a shame that like the newer Diablo games are kind of crap.
Yeah, they are.
We got to find a game on our community we can all play, because I keep feeling like I just keep like fucking like a squirrel zero attention span into something else.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But it's also because nothing's really grabbing my interest. Like,
have you tried that roadside research?
I have it downloaded. I've been wanting to play with y'all, but no one's been around.
That's fair.
I feel like the 1 or 2 nights I have been around, no one's been around. So I was like, okay. But I do have it.
Yeah, it's fun, and pretty hilarious when you get the aliens getting raided by the Men in Black. So,
I did want to play Arc Raiders with people, but I feel like that kind of fell off.
It kind of did, but it's still popular.
Oh, the Steam Spring Sale is on right now.
Yes.
Is anything good? Nothing. Not seeing anything good.
Yeah. Hello, YouTube viewers. Welcome to the show. We are still in pre-show, so if you're here early, thank you for hanging out if you want to do that. We will be getting underway here in just a few minutes. You are welcome to talk shit all you like. Tell us you hate us. Tell us you love us. Tell us about your day. Tell us about your weekend. Whatever you want.
Just please nothing that will get us banned.
We prefer that, but I think YouTube is a little bit more loose than Twitch.
Fair. I guess like I wish there was like a city economy building game, but also with some military stuff that was multiplayer that was good. Like Manor Lord's multiplayer would be fun.
Yeah.
But that's not really a thing right now.
Right. Um,
I wonder if you'd like Warno.
I don't know. Wookie, you can shut your mouth. Smells like Boomer in here. Yeah, I
You
got
know
your
what? This
Boomer,
is a
buddy.
random question. Did you want to get back into World of Warships?
I would.
Or are you kind of over that?
Excuse me. That's something I would not be opposed to.
Okay.
That or even tanks, but
Again, I'm not against it either way.
yeah, not opposed.
I think what I'm trying to settle into is like, as much as I love War Thunder,
Yeah.
it is such a time sink
Oh yeah.
that like it's hard to like put it down and then pick it back up and be any good.
Yeah.
Whereas like World of Tanks, I can walk away from for a year and then come back to it and still be fine.
Oh, this guy's back.
Which guy's back?
Over in the YouTube stream. Loputier is trying to say that it's his stream or their stream.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. I will give them exactly one opportunity to knock that off before I ban them outright. Last week they got a timeout. So
If this is your stream, why aren't you paying for it?
or, you know,
Where's
why aren't you here?
the money?
Where,
Where's the money, Lebowski?
pull up a chair, you know.
Where's the money?
Where's the robot Mansley?
You know,
Oh.
it's crazy. Our analytics are good enough that I could theoretically tell them like our podcast is worth a decent amount of money. So like, pay up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want it to be yours, I expect a big fat check in the mail.
Right. Yeah. And I think Wookie's got mod power. Does Wookie have mod powers? I think he does. It's okay. I'm in the stream. I have all the mod powers that we need there.
He's
Because
got the
over there, I am God.
You are inevitable.
Yes.
You know, I rewatched because when my girlfriend was around, we watched Infinity War Endgame. My
Yeah.
God, they Marvel has been shit since then. Ever since I like rewatched it
Well,
and
yeah.
really kind of paid attention. It doesn't even compare.
No.
Although I will admit the new Spider-Man coming out looks decent.
Yes. I was going to say the Spider-Man, No Way Home with all the Spider-Man.
Yeah, that one's decent.
Yeah, discombobulation. That was like the last good one.
Yeah.
I'm reluctantly excited for the one with Doom coming at the end of this year.
The one with Doom. Oh, Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be good.
I'm hoping it will be. I mean, again, RDJ is going to be there, so he's been carrying the bulk of Marvel on his shoulders for years. But we'll see.
It makes me feel like they did not commit to Iron Man dying. It really pisses me off.
We'll see, because multiverse, you know. He can die in this one and be alive in the next one.
But the multiverse thing is so stupid. I'm sorry. It's so lazy. Because they can like undo any decision they ever make. So it's like none of it means anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just kind of the price we pay for you know, being the fans that we are.
See, I can't wait for AI to get even better, and someone's just going to write a far better Marvel script than Marvel ever did.
Yeah, so
canon.
If that's the case, I want to go back and make a few choice edits on some of my favorite movies, like on Ready Player One, the big like clash scene towards the end of the movie. Have you seen Ready Player One?
Not in a while, but I have seen it.
Okay, so end of the movie where he's got everybody rushing on Planet Doom, and they all run up the fortress stairs and everything. When his friend jumps out of the plane and turns into the giant Gundam, I
Okay,
want to
yep, yep, yep.
replace that because the whole movie is all 80s references, right?
Okay.
I want to replace the Gundam with Voltron.
I agree.
Like 1000%. I think if he jumped out and they had the lions come in with that triumphant music, assemble Voltron real quick, and then slam into the fucking ground, hero landing and all, fucking clap out that goddamn sword, and just start beating the shit out of Mechagodzilla, 1000% better ending. Even if he didn't kill Mechagodzilla right there, still would have been a better fucking fight. Because
I'd have to agree with you.
maybe I was the odd one out. I did not know what the fuck a Gundam was until the early 2000s.
Wow. Okay. I grew up with that, so I just happen to know about it.
Yeah, like I had heard the word Gundam through like the mid to late 90s, but I really didn't know. Like, I just thought they were like planes and stuff. I didn't know they were like Transformers and shit like that. But I didn't know what a Gundam was. I had never seen anything like any Gundam shows until the early 2000s.
Okay.
When I had like actual good internet and I could look that stuff up. Because all through the 90s, it was just dial up for me. I didn't have cable internet like broadband until I was in the Navy and I had 30 megs connection.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy for the 90s. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, all through high school, living out my parents' place, I was on a 28K modem.
You were big shit on Turd Mountain over there.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Now,
Lord.
the apartment I lived at before I went into the Navy, I did have a 56K connection. Like, and it was a solid, maybe it was like a 52.2 connection most nights.
Okay.
So wasn't quite 56K, but yeah, it was pretty solid. It is not radio signals, May. It was just dial up and lots of noise.
It worked though.
It did work. It worked great. Yeah, well, yeah, I know Gundam was like huge in the 80s over in Japan, and yes, I know it made sense for the character, but being that Ready Player One was like very Americanized, I personally felt like making it be Voltron would have been a more accurate thing than the Gundam. I don't know. I would have just liked to have seen it been Voltron, but again, maybe I'm the odd one out. Maybe I'm just the one in the pack. So
Again, it makes sense to me.
yeah. But all right. I need to text Pez real quick. He was saying he wanted to pop in.
Well, if there's ever an episode for him to watch and get
Yeah,
a little
get a little heated
oh,
on,
man.
this would be
Ooh,
the
a little
one.
animated. Yeah, he's gonna be.
I would be fully expecting a phone call tomorrow. You know.
Yeah, that or a very long voicemail.
Yes.
I love him to death, but he always calls me when I'm at work.
Yeah.
And it's like I
can't answer. Says he'll be home in 4 minutes. So that's perfect.
That works out.
Yeah. Oh. You guys have any of this spiciness coming your way? We have some spicy weather.
It's New England. All the weather's spicy. Like you have to be more specific.
Gotcha. He got his first speeding ticket in like 15 years.
Wow.
Says he was going way too fast in an area that he should have known better. So it's all on him, but he's still mad.
Yeah. I get that.
I just replied, womp womp. No, for weather tonight, we're getting some spicy weather, storms, and maybe some hail.
Ugh.
They did actually cite out that in my area, it's like mouse-sized hail. A little further east and northeast, hamster-sized hail.
Wow, I'm glad
Yeah.
they're being very specific with that.
Yes, and that's why I replied with the image of Lemmywinks crawling through the depths of Mr. Slave.
Yeah.
May is getting extreme heat, so we'll. I mean, it was 83 here today, and it's going to be like 45 tomorrow. So, we'll just take that as it happens. But yeah. So, do you want to start getting everything ready to roll? And we'll say hi to Pez as he jumps in.
As he rolls it, jumps in. You mean like to watch, or is he jumping into?
Oh no,
the live
he'll be in the stream chat.
Okay, you have.
I would. Okay. I love him to death, but there's no way in hell I would ever have him on the show for a very short guest spot, maybe. But
love him to death. We've known him for well over a decade, but I do not have enough alcohol.
No,
for that episode.
I mean, I the amount of alcohol it might take to get through that one would probably put me in the hospital. I hate to say it, but yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, okay, I will go ahead and fire up Audacity, and we're good there. So, are you good? You look very...
Just give me like 2 seconds here.
Okay. And 2.
Okay.
Yes, I know it's early to be dealing with my shenanigans.
What? You ever have like a game in your inventory that like appears out of nowhere on Steam?
No.
Oh, well, I do. I'm a little confused. I'm just going to worry about this later.
Okay.
Oh, that's a problem for later.
Yes.
For later, Gibbs. All right, so I'll start. Let me know when you want me to start recording audio on my end.
Yeah, let me just delete that first a little bit. All right, starting recording in 3, 2, 1. All right, recording is live.
And my recording's now live, and your recording started a couple seconds ago. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, good to go.
All right.
Good to do the thing. The thing.
We're going to do the thing of things. Okay.
The thing that does the things with the thing. The thing of a thing. So who's a what's it?
Tap, 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 tap. All right. You ready for the clap of syncage?
Ready the thingamabob.
Oh, yes. All right. Sync clap in 3, 2, 1. Clap. There we go. All right. The butterscotch slipped into the tongue. Stop staring too long. It's not a house party.
Are you having a stroke? You smell toast.
That's what May was saying over on Twitch.
Yes.
I have no idea. He might be having a stroke or stroking his mayhaves. I don't know.
Bond is having a stroke?
Yes.
Oh.
All right.
The butterscotch slipped into the tongue. Does that mean it was like non-consensual, or just like happened to be there, or
Maybe.
was it like surprise? Or I'll close my window here.
Usually, when I slip the tongue somewhere, I get a nice little ooh.
That just sounds like she wasn't prepared.
Or I get kicked. I mean, whichever.
Honestly, if you get kicked, that's pretty good flexibility from her. Like that's kind of.
It's okay, Wookie. You wouldn't understand. This is adult talk.
We got to get him like childproof like earmuffs when we have these discussions at the meetup. Yeah. It's okay, buddy. The adults are talking.
He says go play in traffic. That's great.
Oh, man.
We should get that warning. We're just like, hey, little buddy, put your earmuffs on.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's good.
Man.
All right. So if you are ready to roll. All right. All right. All right. We can start the show in 5, 4, 3. Welcome to the Now We Consume podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Pip. Tonight, here with me is my co-host, Gibbs.
Hi.
Gibbles is off tonight. He's taking a little bit of a breather. And before we get too far into this, I wanted to kind of bring something up. Have you had a chance to do any of the AI guided health measures? Like, have you used ChatGPT to kind of get health advice?
What? No. What? Huh?
Okay, so this is something that's becoming kind of popular with rising medical care costs and everything. So here's the situation. I wasn't really feeling that great earlier in the week, and my doctor was out on vacation, so I couldn't do a telehealth appointment. Here's the issue, though. We talk about AI a lot on this show, and so I was kind of hesitant about this, but I decided to use one of the new ChatGPT-based medical advisor apps. So I described all my symptoms and everything, and the advice it gave me: put garlic in my butt.
Well,
now, I was a little leery at first, but I figured, you know what? This AI has the collective knowledge of all of mankind. There's no way that this is bad advice, right? So here I am. It's a few days out. I don't really feel all that much better. I smell terrible. My butthole hurts, and it smells like an Italian kitchen when I fart. However, I don't think I need to worry about any gay vampires anytime soon. So there is that.
just how do I do a vampire accent for? That's a cave. I can't go in.
No, I do not want to enter your cave of wonders. Blah.
I am allergic. Why is it spicy?
Why is it spicy?
I gotta give you credit. That's probably, I was just as confused from start to end on that one. That was good.
Awesome.
That was a good intro.
That's my goal.
I could not have guessed where you were going. If you could have given me a 6-month lead on that one. No clue. No clue.
Oh
my Lord.
Shoot for the moon and aim for the face, right, buddy? But welcome to the show, everybody. Tonight we're going to go down some of the world events topics. We know the world's kind of catching fire a little bit again, so we're going to talk about some of the issues going on there and about. Right now, you look around and the world's kind of unrecognizable compared to just a few weeks ago. We have our military forces forward deployed in active combat once again. We've got some state primaries that are in the books, and for the first time in decades, there are now no limits on the world's nuclear arsenals. That's kind of a terrifying thought. We're not going to sit here and give you the left versus right diatribe. We're going to sit here and look at what's going on behind the scenes a little bit. So, kind of reminds you of the early 2000s with a lot of the rhetoric getting tossed around, like immediately post 9/11, with some of the immediate feel.
I hate to say it, but it feels like it's out of the same playbook we've been using since Korea.
Yeah. Before we go too far into the notes, there were some things that we were talking about, and I do want to bring this stuff up early. just because it's going to tie into some of the stuff we're going to talk about later. As of yesterday, we're recording this on Sunday the 22nd. So as of yesterday, the president has threatened Iran's power grid if they don't open up the Strait of Hormuz. So to quote the president from his post on Truth Social, if Iran doesn't fully open without threat the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours from this exact point in time, the United States of America will hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. And that was written on Truth Social on Saturday night. So Iran would have another, 24 to 36-ish hours as of right now from time of recording. So I do want to point out that under the Geneva checklists, attacks on objects indispensable to the survival of the civilian population are technically prohibited. And you had made a very valid point, if you want to redo that.
So if you want to read between the lines here, it's the destruction of something like that, of infrastructure like that, is technically against the Geneva Convention. My thought would be, you don't destroy the power plant, you just destroy the lines coming off of it.
Yeah.
So you could say, I didn't destroy anything that's illegal. I just destroyed the lines. They're not maintaining their lines or not, whatever. You can read between the lines if you want. I guess my point is, we're in kind of the situation where, unfortunately, we're kind of committed to this. We're our foot's in the door. And unfortunately, just like we saw with Afghanistan, we saw it with Iraq, we saw it with everything else, we're committed to kind of seeing this thing through now, regardless of left, right, we agree or disagree. So with this case, he could definitely start attacking power infrastructure, and that would quickly shut things down. The catch is, oh man, the international backlash is going to be huge on that. If you just start dropping bombs on power, immediately people are going to say, oh my God, you're costing the lives of millions of innocent people. You're affecting people, affecting economies, jobs. So it's one of those things where he needs to be careful how he does this. If it just harms the immediate infrastructure and leaves the power station intact, then says, hey, you're going to go without power for a few days or a week. This is a warning, and I will just keep doing this. So knock it off. That would be one thing. But if he just completely destroys the power station, rebuilding infrastructure like that takes months, if not sometimes years. Because really, there's a supply shortage really globally for a lot of that heavy duty power infrastructure. So, and especially, no one's exactly going to prioritize shipping it to Iran.
Right.
Let's face it. So I hope that they're just being careful and understand that there are options more than just, going with the biggest button, just being like, destroy it all. And let's use a scalpel. Let's have a little bit of subtlety here. There are other options. Yeah,
but speaking of the biggest button, I do want to reiterate that nukes have actually been threatened at this point. It came more or less after the gas field attacks, when Israel kind of went after Iran's gas fields, and then Iran, what was it? They retaliated against Qatar.
But didn't Trump also say that he was annoyed with Israel? Yeah, for doing those strikes as well. So it's kind of it's this cluster of people doing stuff without having any sort of organization, and they really got to kind of talk this stuff through. If we're going to be working with them hand in hand, you guys got to really kind of communicate hand in hand before you just go start willy-nilly, bombing shit. Yeah.
He had made the comment that Netanyahu doesn't care how the midterms turn out for him because he's not the one in them. So the president obviously does care about the midterms. So, and, we're going to talk about the whole war versus the elections and everything. So, in fact, that's the first section of our notes here. The midterm madness with the 2026 shift.
Can I do a quick shout out before we get too deep into that?
Absolutely.
I want to say congratulations to Brandon Herrera for winning in Texas. He's going to be winning that. Now, granted, it has to go to the official vote, but if anyone wants to look up the horrible story about Tony Gonzalez, his opponent, look that up because holy crap. I have never seen somebody implode their own campaign as quickly by being an absolute POS. So bad for him. Good for Brandon Herrera. He's a big YouTuber, a big Second Amendment guy, but also someone that's just very level-headed, which I think is something we kind of need because it seems like everybody's absolutely insane who's in Congress. So it's are you insane and old? Yes, put him in Congress. It's great. That's about what we need.
On that, insane and in Congress, I can't believe these words are going to come out of my mouth. And suddenly his name just Zoidberged off my head. The bald guy out of Pennsylvania that everyone thought was Dutz, always wearing tracksuits.
Fetterman.
Fetterman, yes. I cannot believe the level of level-headedness and logic that is coming out of that man.
I will be the one that has to say it. He's the most logical Democrat I've seen, and he has brain damage. So
the fact that Fetterman is now the voice of reason in Congress is terrifying, but it also confirms we are on the idiocracy timeline.
Yeah.
Because holy shit.
He's the only one that's calling out both sides and not being tribal about it. I guess that's like on like a slight aside. I think that's what a lot of people, especially I think under the age of like 45 or 50, a lot of us that have been around enough that have been like, for instance, in my lifetime, we've always been at war in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets to a point where it's like, we're all just fucking sick of it.
Yeah.
We're all over this. We're all, there's almost no justification. And I'm not saying Iran doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of really, really bad stuff. They fund international terrorism. You know, they do a lot of things that are horrific. But it's sitting here looking, going, God damn, there's another stupid war for another stupid reason. Yeah. More of my tax dollars. It's like that infamous meme from the Ukrainian war of like my tax dollars from the enemy missiles and somehow my tax dollars that are also from our missiles. It's like at the end of the day, we keep paying for it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're the ones that lose.
Yeah. I don't think that Trump wants to see this conflict go for very long, which is both good and bad, because good, I don't think he wants to see an expensive extended commitment.
True.
Bad, because I don't think he'll pull punches to see it ended quickly.
And the other problem too is like we're not going to win the culture war. So the problem is we might win militarily in terms of destroying and or incapacitating their military, but culturally the problem is, are we just going to do the same thing like Iraq and Afghanistan, where we just create more terrorists, more rebels that are going to view us as the enemy in the Western world again? The problem is, are we just going to be, again, doing the same thing what the CIA did in the 80s, where they armed, the Afghanis and in the Middle East in the 80s, and then in the early to mid 90s, we had to invade, clear them out. Is the same thing going to happen again? Is my big question. So don't be surprised if in a few presidents they say, well, Iran is really unstable and there's all these different fighting factions, and then they invade again. Mm-hmm. And we're back in the sandbox. We're back in this bull, so it's possible. Yeah. I don't think he's really going to actually solve anything, unfortunately, because there's really no pressure to, because think about this, what pressure after we leave, no one's going to hold anything accountable. Nobody's going to say this has to happen or that has to happen.
So I think the biggest thing that they're wanting to come out of this is they want to remove the oppressive leadership and all of
the Ayatollah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and all of the people that support that regime, and let the people of Iran kind of put it back to how it was and the direction it was going back in the 70s. I mean,
but I guess the catch is, will those people win? Because we've failed. We're like 0 for 5 in the Middle East right now.
Yeah.
Because we absolutely fucked over in Libya. We absolutely fucked over Afghanistan. We absolutely fucked over in Iraq.
Yeah.
Like we've not been successful at this.
Yeah, I know you're not old enough, and I'm barely old enough to really remember reading about Iran back in the 70s, but it was a place that was very much up and coming. It was going the route of like Dubai without the threat and oppression of Islam. So
that's exactly where I was going to go with that. Is before the overtake of Islam in the government, it was widely considered one of the most prosperous and really one of the wealthiest countries in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
So it had a lot going for it, but unfortunately, once a religion took over the government, it started going to a more oppressive regime.
Yep.
And that's the direction they chose. So I agree with you. Hopefully it can go back to that. The question is, will it? Yeah. Because again, you're not changing the culture of the country, and you're also not putting America in a very good light. Like, it would be one thing if we were doing, I guess it's a bit of a problem with semantics too, of like, how do you necessarily change that country without causing the people that live there undue harm and inconvenience?
Yeah.
And then the problem is, in order for us to make it better, to spread Western influence, that would mean a boatload of money. And even they can't guarantee it goes to the people. It could just go back to the government to fund more terrorists. So it's like, how do you actually? You really have to have all this stuff in order, like for the next 10 years,
Yeah.
before you do it. And I hate to say it, I don't know if they really thought this through. I wonder if it was a knee jerk reaction of like, well, fuck, I guess we got to do this. And they did it, and it's going well. It's going. I'd rather us at least be in and out rather than another 10 or 15 year war where we lose, trillions of dollars and
Yeah.
tens
Oh,
of
yeah.
thousands of lives. I take this as the alternative, but it's like, hopefully they've thought this through.
Yeah, I think if they are able to secure a military victory, like quickly, they would then have to I hate using the phrase, install a set of leadership authorities to help the people get things up and running quickly, to the point where they could get people pulled out quickly and just leave support infrastructure and communications so that the people that are taking over and getting things up and running can still get help when and if needed.
I wonder if, like, here's my question to you, because I don't know. I haven't done as much traveling as you have. I'm not quite aware of some things. What if we just made it a territory?
Kind of like Guam.
Yeah. Because that could establish us as a permanent presence in the Middle East. That gives us a lot more control. Also, access to oil. With us having control of Venezuela as well as Alaska, that puts us on the global stage better. Because one of the biggest problems we've had, the reason for that invasion in Venezuela as well with Iran here, is the fact of if China had influence over those countries and had control over the oil, same with Russia, they could have crippled our economy. So really, unfortunately, this whole war has been about the control of oil and natural resources, as it usually is. America, we smell oil. We're there in 5 minutes or less. we can take over your oil quicker than we can deliver a pizza. We are efficient at that.
Oh, yeah.
But because that's where that's coming from, I wonder, as long as we maintain that control over those resources, if there's a way of making it a territory or at least a much closer ally, that might help stabilize the region. But I do not know enough to know how we could do that.
Yeah, that's a little outside of my realm, but we should look into that because that is like not the worst idea, maybe.
Or here's my other alternative. How expensive would it be to buy property there?
Right now, very, very cheap.
Because hear me out. What if Americans just got together, bought literally entire cities over there, and kicked everyone out and just moved in and be like, America didn't take it over, but like, we're here.
Yeah.
So like, we're bringing KFC and McDonald's, and I'm sorry, I don't think they're going to say no. They're like, oh, well, that's cool. They're bringing, Americanized stuff. They're bringing the Western world.
Yeah.
To be fair, vacationing in Iran would be a little weird, but
Yeah.
I'd give it a try.
Maybe. Yeah.
I guess it'd be pretty pro 2A over there.
You would think.
Maybe.
Once everything is settled down, yeah.
And maybe not for nothing. Maybe a bunch of Americans moving over there that are pro 2A that are very like structured and rigid. Maybe that would really shape things really quick.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to get into the notes, but I did want to ask
you. Sorry, I keep getting aside.
No, that's fine. Mark Wayne Mullen.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on him? Because he's got that spunk and spirit that a lot of people like. Because he was ready to throw hands with that one senator, but or congressperson, whatever. But
I like the passion. I don't know the voting record well enough to have a firm opinion. I'm always very concerned, I guess, with it. If there's any senator or representative, anyone in office that has that much passion, I appreciate it, but I hate to say it, I don't trust what they say. I trust what they do and what they vote on.
Absolutely.
So, and I do not know. I have not done enough research to know exactly. From what I've heard, most of the voting record I would probably agree with, but I'm that nerd that actually watches C-SPAN, so I would want to kind of look through and see what.
Yeah, if he gets confirmed, he's going to be one that a lot of people are going to be watching very closely.
There's a chance.
So,
but we'll have to see. We'll have to see because who the hell knows?
Oh yeah,
with the way things are right now.
Yeah, but to get into the information here, the primary results from the March 3rd primary in Texas was a GOP runoff between Senator John Cornyn and Attorney General Ken Paxton. And on the Democratic side, the consensus candidate, James Talarico, did beat out the opponent, Jasmine Crockett. That was a kind of a funny thing because she went off the handle.
Well, so do you know some of the story behind that? I actually happen to know a bit about this one.
Please enlighten
So
me.
local news. So I don't know if you know that there's an actually interesting law that says that if you interview or give airtime to a candidate, you have to give airtime equivalent to their opponent.
Right.
It's per the law. Well, fun fact, James and Jasmine, they're both Democrats. So what they did is they gave all the airtime to him and none to her. And they said, well, it doesn't violate any FCC guidelines because they're not opponents. They're just both in the same party. So what was funny is there were all these interviews with him. They never mentioned Jasmine Crockett. And her ratings tanked because everybody forgot she was there.
Oh, wow.
So it was this kind of weird thing where James Talarico was almost kind of installed by the Democratic Party just to get her the hell up because she's such a controversial person. And to be fair, duly noted, if you want to see some absolutely crooked bull crap, look up some of the stuff that she's done.
Oh,
She's one of those despicable people.
Yeah,
I think the entire Democratic squad is gone. I think they're all gone now.
Well, I know there's some stuff. Omar might be getting hit with some fraud charges here soon.
What a shock.
She just got caught trying to launder some money. I think that was a blurb I saw.
I mean, how do I say this politely? There's many things you should probably be tried on.
Yeah.
So it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. I don't believe it was bananas and rice either. But
had nothing to do with her brother, huh? Okay, fair enough.
No. So I don't know if the people that voted against Jasmine Crockett were just looking for better values or if they were looking for someone that was more palatable, or anything like that. But we've also got things coming out of the SCOTUS. There's a ruling pending on the viability of mail-in ballots. I know I'm very on the fence about mail-in ballots because I use those. Going to the public polls on voting day absolutely freaks the shit out of me. Public masses, crowds, I have a hard time with that. So mail-in ballots for me are the absolute way to go. They're changing the early voting rules for a lot of states. So that's going to be an issue as well. So it's going to be an issue for a lot of people. I'm hoping they keep some mail-in ballot options available, but I understand why they're trying to rein it in.
Well, it's always the catch of, understanding the people that are voting are actually the people that are mailing it in. There's always been a problem of ballot harvesting. Do you know what that is?
Oh, yeah. They've had people caught on video pulling up to drop boxes and just stuffing them with boxes and boxes and boxes of ballots the night after the election. I mean, it happens every freaking election.
Not only that, but so in the process of what's called ballot harvesting, the other thing they'll do is they'll send representatives. Usually what happens is usually Democrat representatives, and they'll go to large apartment complexes, very urban areas, and say, hey, voting's coming up soon. If you want, I can fill out this information for you from the party. That way we can put your ballot in for you. And it says, oh, great, awesome. And then they just verbally fill it out with the person and then close it up and submit it for them. However, one of the problems is there's no guarantee necessarily that ballot is submitted correctly or that vote is properly counted for. So what happens is they will go to usually urban left-leaning areas and they will, now granted this is the alleged part, as I can't say this officially, but effectively they will pick and choose which ballots go in.
Oh yeah,
effectively.
So there's been a couple things that have been confirmed. Some of the envelopes that they send those in with, if you put everything in the correct way, you can see the choice.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
And
that should be illegal.
That should be illegal completely. Also, there have now been on video recordings of people purchasing signatures and information. to get
Straight to
people
jail.
registered to vote. That is completely
jail.
illegal. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you're doing that, 100% illegal. Should go to jail. All signatures harvested should be invalidated.
There really needs
they're
to
doing
be
it to the homeless.
well, that's part of the problem. Is they're taking advantage of people,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not letting them exercise their constitutional rights. Number one. Number two, the problem is that there needs to be a system in place for a verification of not only identification but of also of your vote. But there's no easy way of doing it.
Yeah.
Without making it, I guess, an undue burden to the average person.
So
unless we make it an official holiday, which I really feel like
it needs to be.
It should be a 2-day federal holiday. It's
Yeah.
really what it should be,
In
my opinion. But
I mean, at least one day, and things like bus services, taxi services, Uber, Lyft, whatever, should all be just free if you're going to vote.
Yeah.
But then on the security
the company
side,
uses it as a tax write-off. Is what I would do is basically say that
100%.
anybody that uses that for that, the company like Uber or Lyft, they get to write that off in their taxes. So therefore it offsets it basically.
when you vote in other countries, it's big in the Middle East. When you vote, you show your ID, and then they fingerprint you with indelible ink, so it cannot be easily removed. So you've got that ink print, and it's on your ballot as well.
Yeah.
So why we're not doing fingerprints on our ballots, I don't know. That seems like a fairly simple thing. Oh no, a fingerprint registry. Huh. That means people could get caught when they commit crimes. Oh no.
I mean, anybody that has a firearm, you have your fingerprints on the registry anyway.
Exactly.
So if I have to put my fingerprint in a registry, especially someone I used to teach at a school, so I got fingerprinted for that, and firearm owner, I got fingerprinted for that. It doesn't. I don't care. Fingerprint me every time I vote. I don't give a shit. I'm already in the system. Number one, but also number two, if I have to get fingerprinted to express my constitutional rights, then to have a firearm, then there's no problem for me doing it to vote.
Yeah,
no problem. And in the God forbid rare situation that someone has a problem with that, there should be an alternative.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have the opinion of, unless there's like a medical reason you can't do it, you should be able to do it. But if we just had it as a holiday, it wouldn't be a big deal. Everyone could go vote.
Yep.
It would not be hard. But unfortunately, it places undue burden on people that can't take the time off. And there's some people that work jobs, like if you work 100% of the day during it, what can you do? You can't do anything. And there unfortunately are some cases where some employers will give you a lot of shit for calling out, leaving early or coming in later, doing whatever, because I have to go vote. It's like, I've seen it. Unfortunately, yes, it's illegal for them to give you shit for it, but it's like, they still do it.
Yeah. And people are too afraid to turn them in. So.
Or sometimes it's, what are you going to do? It's
he
said, she said, Oh,
yeah. But, so yeah, the mail-in ballot stuff, if that restricts access with everything starting to ramp up and get near the midterms, that could kind of create a perfect storm for low turnout in the midterms. Low turnout typically favors Republicans.
True.
So we'll see if this turns out that way. Also, midterms generally tend to favor the opposition. Just, kind of how things go. You get 2 years to see how the administration's doing. Everyone gets pissed off and goes, oh, we don't like this guy. So they want the other people back in office, and then it's 2 years of stalemate. So we'll see if this is a case of anger and change, or if it's a case of low turnout and historical repetition.
It'll be the bigger case of, we will see if Democrats choose to be more on the moderate side. I feel like they could sweep it in the midterms, but if they decide to be more progressive or more extreme, they won't.
Yeah, I doubt
there's
so.
a lot of people that are moderates. I'll raise my hand on that one, that are sick of both extremes and sides. So, just give me someone that's fucking reasonable.
Yeah, and like I said, I can't believe that Fetterman is sounding like the voice of reason out of the Democrat Party. So, with the Iran escalation, Operation Epic Fury. I love how these things always have these Ridiculous names. We are now, 21 days into this thing? The Pentagon has reported well over 1,000 deaths. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth called last Sunday the most intense day of strikes yet. We did manage a double tap strike on an Iranian school that killed 170 plus schoolgirls, which the U.S. claimed was being used as a human shield by the IRGC. We still, a week now, we still have not been able to confirm any side of that story. The START Treaty, the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, expired on February 5th, and U.S. and Russia did not re-up their agreements to that, which means we are officially in an era where the U.S. and Russia have no binding nuclear limits. So
World War II, let's go.
It'd be World War III now, but the spicy World War III. So I do want to kind of reiterate that the two largest nuclear powers in the world have no agreed on cap to their weapon stockpiles. This, with the earlier mention that nuclear weapons have been threatened and the talk of taking out the gas fields with like a level of devastation not yet seen. I am personally concerned that even low yield nuclear weapons could be used in an operational strike like that, a strategic strike. I personally would rather see us deplete our entire stockpile of MOABs before we start looking at nukes.
Especially in a war like this, nukes are really not necessary.
Yeah,
this is not a...
Yeah, they're not. I mean, yes, we could probably drill through the glass, but at the same time, the MOABs and all of our other heavy ordnance would be just fine.
Well, I thought Pete Hegseth just wanted another $200 billion to restock what we spent anyway.
Yeah.
On ammunition and everything else. So it's like, number one, we don't need nuclear weapons for something like this. And also number two, I don't really worry about necessarily the US and Russia having no limit to nuclear weapons, because we already have enough to blow up the world 20, 30 times over. Even if they double, triple, quadruple, it doesn't matter. At this point, the numbers really don't mean anything. I hate to say it, but if they're going to blow up the world, they already have the power to do it. And no one's going to be honest. Nothing's ever going to change with that. The issue I guess I have is I'm always concerned about nuclear proliferation in the case of other countries getting access to it, because America and Russia have the understanding with the MAD program of mutual assured destruction. If anybody launches, we all go kaboom. But there are some countries that are dumb enough or brave enough, whichever way you want to look at it.
Determined enough.
Yep. Yes, they will just do it because they can.
Yeah.
So the only reason this concerns me is not the U.S. Russia having them, but other countries getting them.
Yeah. And I look at this whole Iran situation as a situation where if they are pushed up against the wall far enough or hard enough, and they have access to even one, I feel like they will use it just as a last-ditch effort. If they know they are going to go down, I worry that they are going to fire it off just because they don't care.
Yeah.
So
they would.
And then what? Because they're not an ally with many people. I know China kind of supports them. They have people that are sort of allied with them that are also allied with China. And I don't know how that's going to turn out, because especially if it's a rogue kind of situation, even if it's like the Houthis, or Iran tries to push the blame onto the Houthis. Well, then what? It's just they managed to get a hold of a nuclear weapon, and now it's a tragic situation, and we just go after the people in the caves again. Oh, yay. So
let's circle back to the same thing we've been doing.
Exactly.
Before
we move on, I did want to ask this. Do you feel that changing to Department of War and the renaming of the Secretary of War away from the defense names was a pivot to a more aggressive posture?
So, Yes, it is a more aggressive posture, but the problem is I almost feel like maybe it's because of my reading of dystopic books when I was growing up, but Jesus Christ, does this feel like a not Super Troopers, Space Trooper or whatever it was,
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers
Yeah.
moment where it's like the Department of War. It's like, all right, it's too on the nose at this point. And I guess my other issue is with the way we are perceived around the world. It makes us seem much more like the aggressor rather than being on the defensive.
Yeah.
And I know it probably doesn't change what we're doing militarily, but it looks like, or it has the perception of us being far more of the aggressors and far more aggressive as a country. I think overall, internally, it's not a bad idea, but externally to everyone else outside the country, I feel like that's really stupid.
Yeah.
You should always downplay, what you have rather than overplay it. And Trump, as per his nature, is the exact opposite. So I get their reasoning for it. I just disagree with it. And I think it unfortunately kind of promotes a far too aggressive posture. At least this is just my 2 cents. I look at modern militaries far less like a hammer, far more like a scalpel, where the idea I would much rather be, a country that, we will avoid war if at all possible, but if it happens, it will be overnight, over a weekend, everything will be gone. You won't hear anything, see anything. It's done, and that's it. And that's the scalpel. Only take out military targets, only take out what has to happen. There will troops on the ground overnight. All of a sudden, snap of your finger, it's all done. Because we're the only country in the world that can do it. And after what we saw in Venezuela, we can do it.
Yeah.
It's just the catch of, do we actually commit enough to do it? And unfortunately, I hate to say this, he's committed with that name to being aggressive, but not as decisive as I would have thought. I would have thought if he named it the Department of War, it would have been like in Venezuela, where over a weekend, we would have been done. Everything would have been gone. Every single aircraft, tank, ship, everything. It would have just been completely gone. Tens of thousands of bombs dropped and hundreds and hundreds of sorties, and all of a sudden it's done.
Yeah.
That's it. They have nothing.
Well, their entire Navy is now gone, or mostly gone right now. We have changed ownership of the waters with them at this point. We have the top half of the water. They all have the bottom half of the water. So,
congratulations, you've been upgraded to submarines. But I guess that's my thing. To loop it back in thing. It's stupid to rename it.
Yeah.
I understand why they did it, but I think it's kind of dumb.
Yeah. So with everything going on, and you mentioned the strategic aspect, Iran is not necessarily being as strategic, or if they are, they're just being extremely careless with their attacks, because they're hitting population centers, and they're even threatening now to go after tourist centers and destinations. So how do we combat that? Because that's not our doctrine.
Well, it's a matter of perception, I really feel like, and what. Okay, so the problem that I have seen, at least this whole thing, is Trump and the Ministry of War, Secretary of War, has not been proactive in terms of the media and in terms of what the demands are, what's going on, as much as they should. We're hearing about stuff way too late after. What they should be saying is, hey, we are asking for Iran for an immediate surrender. Here's our conditions. Here's what we expect. Here's what's going on. They are trying to target, these centers. They are trying to kill civilians. We are specifically only targeting military assets, and we're going to great lengths to make sure we limit civilian casualties as much as humanly possible. If they were to be way more out front with this and frame it correctly, I feel like this is something that it wouldn't be as big of an issue. The problem is, and I understand OPSEC or operational security is very important, but at the same point, we have taken out so much of what Iran has that they're not really that much of a threat to us at this point, and
now,
for a lot of things.
On that, what was it, just a day or two ago, they demonstrated potential capability. And I'm saying that very guarded. Potential capability for longer range missiles or missile strikes than previously thought, by launching a couple missiles towards Diego Garcia. Now, neither missile made it anywhere near where it was supposed to, but it did confirm that they have farther capability than we had thought that they still had access to at this point in things, especially. But I would like to point out that given what is stationed and held at Diego Garcia, if they really want to poke that hornet's nest, then they are going to get exactly what comes their way. I don't know if they know exactly what's at Diego Garcia, but it is one of our most important forward bases in that region. The fact that they just shot something at it is very akin to the USS, what was it, the Iowa, that took a hit and damaged or scuffed the deck of the ship, and it turned full broadside in World War II and got very upset and unleashed hell and tried to delete a grid square.
Yeah.
Are you
talking about during the Korean War?
Yeah, it was.
I think that was it might have been the USS Texas.
Maybe, yeah.
I think it is, but is that the one where they purposely flooded one side of the ship to get more? I think that's it. I could be wrong because I don't remember everything. But yeah, I think that's the USS Texas.
Another ship actually responded. Temper was their response, because it was literally like someone hit them and it was like a scuff, and it was the equivalent of them looking at the ship like, "You touched our boat." Mm-hmm. Fuck you.
You would think after what we did to Japan,
right?
They would learn. Don't touch the boats.
Do not touch the boats, like HLC says. Don't touch the boats.
But it is definitely the case of. I understand they still have some weapons and some capability, but we should be focusing on shutting down things like the internet, shutting down their access to the power grid, shutting down literally everything we can, putting as many. And I know people are going to disagree with me on this, but I feel like we need special forces on the ground to deal with certain areas, certain avenues, certain military targets, disrupt all communication as much as you can, make it so that they effectively cannot function anything else other than just small terror cells.
Yeah.
And at that point, once we have some control, what we really need to do is call in the UN and NATO at that point to have them take over and be like, hey, this is a peacekeeping operation. Offset it to them. I mean, hell, we already fund half of NATO anyway. Might as well offset some of that cost. My money's already there anyway.
Didn't we stop paying?
We still pay into it. I don't think we pulled 100% of our funding.
Okay.
We what we did is we pulled it back to proportional funding.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Because we used to be paying 50% of the entire bill, but we pulled it back to being proportional.
Yeah.
Because for a while, I think it was like Denmark or Sweden or something like that had like 0.02% of their budget fund, like putting it towards. It's like, come on, guys. You gotta foot the bill at some point.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think we're officially out of NATO. But that being said, even if we are, if they're going to start attacking bases where there are NATO soldiers that somehow are deployed, they're attacked. I'm not saying to set it up, but it's like you're going to have to at some point get other people involved, because if it's just us, we always look like the bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, we're the most capable, but still, we shouldn't be doing everything by ourselves when other people use the areas that we're trying to keep open as well, like the streets.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It involves everybody.
Yeah.
That involves literally every Western country I can think of.
Yeah. So while we've got all this going on, the stock markets are going ape shit. The president is out golfing as usual and hinting at a regime change in the Middle East. Do you think that this is more of a strategic show of business as usual, or is it sort of a terrifying disconnect from a world on the brink of, major war?
I guess, again, as someone that, grew up watching the politics of the 2000s, it's kind of infuriating watching that, again, another president that's too busy doing other things, all of a sudden leading another war, watching the stock market go all over the place. I see a lot of people that are very stressed about it, because as soon as it was announced that oil might hit $200 a barrel, then it went way down, then it went way up. The markets have been all over the place. There's a lot of uncertainty. It's the problem of it's very hard to support a presidency when there's this much instability.
Yeah.
And this much against what his first, presidency was. At the end of Donald Trump's first presidency, he signed several historic peace deals. The economy was doing great. A lot of people I knew were doing, aside from the COVID stuff, a lot of people I knew were doing really well. I'm like, things at least you might disagree socially, but at least economically it was really good.
Yeah.
Now I under that, this is not helping us in any way. Like this is not, at least with Venezuela, with all the extra oil, if he at least chilled out for a little while, let that kind of come into the country, let us get a couple refineries going, drop that price, let the goods come down, use that to prop up the economy for a year or two, and then did this.
Yeah.
Maybe a different story. Maybe we had more time to gather more intel, get more agents involved, really be able to do it. So by the time he did get involved, it could be a lot smoother. But it just seemed like for some reason there was a time crunch where we took over Venezuela and quick we got to move. I don't know if there's another external factor we're unaware of, that maybe there's something else going on in the background where there's a ticking time bomb, there's a ticking clock. I don't know, but that's the kind of sense of urgency I at least from somebody that's completely uninvolved
Yeah.
with military intelligence.
Yeah.
That's the kind of vibe I get. Or it's the catch of they're using this war to prop up the economy, get enough moving around to where it kind of masks the underlying issues that we're having, which is possible.
So while you were doing that, I went ahead and looked up the price of oil right now. At this moment, and I'm looking at the United States Oil Fund, the ETF on the markets. The USO ticker is sitting at 122.70. 3 months ago, it was at $80. So it's not terrible. We've had worse, but the crude oil futures sitting on the New York exchange is 98.52. So that's
I guess what concerns me is we're heading into the summer, where usually oil prices go up somewhat considerably. Home heating oil, I don't know about anybody else, but I just paid $540 the other day for 100 gallons. So, like yeah, trust me, depression.
God damn.
So it's one of those things where if this continues and this becomes a long-term engagement, a long-term problem, a lot of Americans could be hurt by the economy from this. So he's got to put some other things in place. Like we have to open up channels to deliver oil from Venezuela. We have to push for more refineries. We have to push for more drilling just to keep the economy rolling. Because there's so many other things that are really compressing the middle and poor that if he doesn't open that up economically, a lot of people are going to get crushed by this.
Yeah.
Because this could get a lot worse.
Well, so the issue in Venezuela is not the oil itself. It's the lack of infrastructure to get the oil. A lot of that was suppressed and dismantled by Maduro.
Yeah, because for some people to know, there's a little bit of background history here. We actually invested in Venezuela back in the 80s. There's a lot of oil rigs that our tax dollars and or American companies paid to have built there, because back then that was the jewel of South America. That was the wealthiest country. But once it became socialist and they took it over, they actually stole it from us in the early to mid 2000s. So we lost all that money, all that tax revenue, all those companies' monies that put into those. And now that we're there, they are not running as efficiently, or some of them not even operational at all, simply because it was, socialist, communist takeover. That's kind of how that happens. So hopefully we can get that going, but that like needs to be a priority.
Yeah.
I wonder, are we going to turn Venezuela into like a territory or something like that? Are we going to doing something with that?
I feel like if that happened,
might as well be like Puerto Rico.
Yeah, if that happened, it would probably be more likely or more positive than Iran.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. But so we have all this stuff going on. And if you want to take this section, you are more than welcome to. Section 3.
Absolutely. So this section is called the narrative filter. Basically, who owns the story, who owns what's going on here, who is controlling the information that's getting out and what's being said and what's being disseminated to people. Now, before I get into the notes, the issue that we're seeing, this has been a problem really since the Ukrainian war, definitely a problem in Venezuela, but really a problem with the Iranian war right now is the lack of transparent media and information. And it's gotten bad, especially with the proliferation of AI. It's gotten even worse.
And holy fuck, did we not call this shit?
It's almost like we listen and we learn and we talk about things.
I say this again. We are apparently fucking prophets. Because we said last season, the next big conflict with the proliferation of AI, there's going to be so much false information and generated videos, it's going to be impossible to say what's real. And fucking look around.
I've seen some very convincing videos of like bombs being dropped supposedly on U.S. FOBs forward operating bases, and it looked like at first it made me do a triple take. And I'm somebody that's pretty well versed in AI stuff. I even had to do a triple take. I was like, wait a minute, that looked real. But once I saw that like people would suddenly disappear or clothing would change or like little small details, you realize, oh, that's AI. But Jesus Christ, was it convincing? Especially if I was just scrolling through TikTok or like Threads or something.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to control the narrative.
So the AI videos of Netanyahu, when the whole theory of him may be dead, the man had 6 fingers on his hands at one point. His teeth were disappearing. In another video, he had a ring on his hand that was coming and going.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they putting these videos out if he's not dead? I don't even know if he's done a live interview.
So I actually heard the official sources on that. It's because they were using it to edit. He is still alive and he's still out there, but apparently they were using it to edit and like piece a bit of couple of different like interviews together for different parts. So like, according to what I've heard from official sources, he's still around. That's not an AI video, but it's a poorly edited one.
Okay, so why aren't they putting him in front of a camera?
I think it's all optics right now at this point. I think it's they want him out of the spotlight because they know. I have to tread on these words carefully, but there's a lot of anti-Israeli sentiment right now. So from what I have heard from people, they're just trying to keep him out of the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, is it possible that something happened? Maybe, but that I guess I would assume that if something happened to him, that would be like not world-ending news, but it would be darn near.
Yeah,
that would be probably the biggest story in the last 20 years.
Well, I know there was an image circulating earlier in this week of him being dragged out of some rubble. Now it was obviously AI generated. You couldn't fucking tell first glance, even second glance. You had to really look. Like people had to start running it through an AI detection software.
And even then, it's getting to the point where sometimes those don't always work.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, everybody at home. Like my best advice would be to talk to people that are involved in this kind of stuff and that really watch it. And feel free as well, and either in our Discord or comment section or anything, like send stuff to us. Be like, hey, have you guys heard this? Because I'm somebody, just so you guys know, I listen to several different like independent journalists almost every night. So for me, I don't listen to mainstream. I listen to independent people, and they actually can source, that cite their sources, cite their people, cite their contacts. Not saying that I know everything, not that I know perfectly, but I'm pretty well informed for the most part for a lot of things, and I know so is Pip. So I mean, generally we will answer either yeah, that's real, that's not, or like, hey, wow, we don't know, maybe we should all look into it.
Yeah.
Just because right now we have to all work together to see what's real and not, because Jesus Christ, you can dude, I have even a couple of times been fooled and woke up the next morning going, wait a minute, I'm an idiot. Let me look at that. Be like, crap.
Yeah. I mean, it goes all the way back to when Charlie Kirk was murdered. And we still don't know what's going on with that. And there's more and more coming out about that whole situation. And I believe we're going to be doing an episode on that soon. I
am going to sound like Alex Jones on that episode. I'm going to lose my shit on that one.
There was an AI video of that within 30 minutes that was circulating around. So, I mean, there's that level of bullshit going on. But
anyways,
fuck, I had something when you were saying all that. No, shit, I lost it. It was important to. This is not a sponsored section, but ground news. If you want to get as clear and uncut and unbiased news information as you can, I finally decided to check them out. I'm not paying for it. They are not paying me or us or anything in any way. This is me giving my own feedback. Ground News will show you where the articles are coming from and if they're biased one way or the other. And from there, you can make your own choices. So
I like them, as well as Straight Arrow News. That's another one as well that I like.
Yes. So This is not like Raid Shadow Legends. Nothing, no one is sponsoring us. But Ground News, give them a look and see if it's something that you like. They cover the same stories. They just remove the bias filters. So,
Do
please,
they show you? Do they show you? Because I don't use I use Straight Arrow News more than Ground News. Does Ground News show like the biases in different ones, like how many different, like the right covers this topic, the left covers that topic, here's
Yeah.
the middle ground.
Yeah, like they have one right here. U.S. economy, rising gas prices may offset larger 2026 tax refunds. 84 sources, and it's got a Democrat or liberal bias to it.
Okay.
So more left-leaning sources are covering it than right, but it is still
Makes sense.
getting covered, and they show things from both sources or both sides.
Good. But that's good.
So yeah, check them out. See if it's your cup of tea.
Yeah. Don't let yourself be misled by biased sources, because it's difficult nowadays.
It is
Very difficult.
So,
But anyways,
yeah, keep on.
no worries. So I know the media outlets have been very divided on what's been going on, in this war. There was some quote unquote Tomahawk missile footage of a drone strike, a school strike, while other people have been focusing on Iranian drone carrier that the U.S. Navy just sank. The problem has been, again, like we previously discussed, is the footage real? Has it been edited? Is it AI? Anything like that? It seems like there's kind of a tale of two wars going on, where you have kind of the moderate to moderate right looking to find ways to justify it, and you have the moderate to moderate left looking for ways to denounce it. And I think, as we both kind of know, it's kind of a middle ground thing. It's not necessarily 100% right. It's not 100% wrong. There's a lot more nuance to it than just, good or bad.
Yeah. This is a point in time where, if you've never seen the movie called Wag the Dog, or I think that's what it is, Wag the Dog or Wag the Tail. Yeah, I think it's Wag the Dog. This is a time to go watch that movie. It's about a small film production crew that literally makes up a war via film and sells it to the American public.
How have you never mentioned this to me before?
I guess I just kind of thought you had seen it. It's one of those.
No.
Oh, okay.
I know what I'm doing tonight. Hold on. I know. I literally was looking for a movie to watch tonight, because I just got done watching Endgame.
Yeah.
And Infinity War, and now every other Marvel movie disappoints me. So
yeah, it's from the 90s, but
really, okay.
Yeah, it's a De Niro movie, and it's De Niro and Hoffman.
Oh, oh wow, Prime De Niro. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it was good. And I think even some of the older movies like that can hearken to current events in ways that people never imagined.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Anyways, so there is a phenomenon happening right now. It's called addictive information loops. Basically, we're being fed specific versions of the war, specific information, data, statistics, even true and or false video images, depending on, I guess, kind of your political leanings, depending on which state we live in, or even possibly whichever country you live in. I've heard a lot of rumors that different countries have been reporting wildly different things about the war. This one was weird to me. I went down this rabbit hole the other day, that there was one country, I think it was in Germany, that they were reporting like there was a mass casualty on American soil, that they were shipping soldiers over to Germany in like massive hospitals. They were bringing in thousands of Americans. I was like, American soldiers are pretty transparent about posting stuff online. I'm pretty sure if something like that happened, we would know. But
yeah,
it was weird that other countries were reporting on stuff like that. So keep it in mind. Now, granted, it could have been all AI. Who knows at this point?
Right. So if you start hearing shit like that, then I would say get a VPN and start moving your location around the world and looking up local news sites.
That's a good point.
I never
thought about
are still accessible right now. For now.
Yeah, they better not go away.
Yeah.
But I never thought about, I wonder like how the news would be in like a like Switzerland or something like that, country that's like completely neutral and something like this. I might have to look that up later. Didn't think about that.
Enjoy your rabbit hole.
That's my problem. I'm that person that's up till 2 a.m. going, nothing matters. Just absolutely tinfoil hatting.
Do me a favor. When you break out the corkboard and red string, send me a picture.
I will. I have a fresh wall that's ready for it.
Nice.
So I do eventually. A little side note: I have a wall that's purposely free now that I have, because I rearranged my entire office. I eventually want to have one where I can put like photos and different stuff from the podcast to make like a collage of all the
Nice.
stuff we've talked about. Specifically, so in some videos, I could do, the Alex Jones, like the Turn of the Frogs gay. I wanted to be able to do like a GIF thing for like, it's all a conspiracy.
A
And it
peanut
just
butter
shows
thing?
like, what?
You want to do something with peanut butter?
No, I said with like the Alex Jones, like the viral.
Well,
clip
you,
of,
you
like, the
said with a
Turn the
GIF
Frog-
thing, and GIF is peanut butter.
Oh my God, stop.
So a GIF thing?
GIF?
Yeah.
A GIF. But look at me. But you know what I mean? Like have like that like reaction
Yeah.
video. Because I think there's so many times in this show of just like conspiracy theory going nuts. But anyways.
I'm sick and tired of them putting the shit in the water and turning the freaking frogs gay.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Like I would love to, if only he didn't do the Sandy Hook thing.
Yeah.
Like he would still be around and doing stuff. And
he is still around. It's just, nobody cares.
Well, you can't find his stuff too.
Yeah.
You have to go to Rumble, which I do like Rumble as a platform, but like it's a shame that like you can't hear people anymore. So many people have been like unpersoned on the internet.
Yeah.
But anyways. The World Trade Center, what?
World Trade Organization.
Sorry, World Trade Organization. Yes. I lost my track. Yep, there we go. While we were distracted by the airstrikes, the World Trade Organization is preparing for its ministerial conference in Cameroon from March 26th to the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know much about what's going on with that meeting, to be honest with you. I don't know if you know any details.
It's a very big conference that the WTO puts on every year. They discuss a lot of like world finance things. So we have all this big war shit going on, and they're going to go and sit there and sip tea, eat rare cheeses and bullshit, and just be rich assholes and talk about how they're going to put everybody else down.
Oh, it's like the Davos thing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, just another one. You know what? As I've gotten older, the amount of rich people that go to things like conferences to talk about stupid things, and then they go home and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's unreal. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, the WTO meeting is where the real long-term rules for e-commerce and agriculture will be written, likely while the world is busy watching for the bombs fall on Tehran.
Yeah.
Now, it is kind of a weird point that they all meet up, kind of discuss. Oh yeah, so we have to put a 5% import tax on this and move this economy around and do these things and that. That way we can feed. But it's like it's just a bunch of people trying to find ways to get rich.
Mm-hmm.
And do things that benefit themselves.
Yes, indubitably, we must have the import tariff on this other item.
Yes, exactly. All stupid.
Yeah. It's all rich shit that us poors are never going to be worried about.
No. I don't have a yacht to park, so
No.
I'm not invited.
And the only yacht I park is spongy and bruised, so. I mean, the spirit's still willing.
We're moving on from that one. I'm not addressing it. Nope. 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 Not here. Nope.
So we have a widening budget fracture in the ever-growing issue of the wallet versus the war. We have state revenues rapidly declining. Many are cutting taxes to win midterm votes, while at the same time, the war is driving up military spending and energy costs. Mr. Hegseth, just last week, requisitioned $200 billion to continue paying for things. In the grand scheme of things, $200 billion for war effort is not a lot of money. That's a resupply is what that is.
At the same point, though, that's you know what? You keep talking. I'm gonna look at what the GDP of Iran is.
Okay. So $200 billion to continue funding for the war effort and the combat stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
Dude, Iran's GDP is 350 to 430. So like we have literally spent billion. So we have spent half of their GDP blow it up, some of it. I think here's the problem I see is in terms of a deal, this is not a good deal. That's a shit ton of money we've spent. Also, not for nothing, we have not dropped $200 billion worth of bombs.
No, but you have to think about running expenses like funding the ships, paying the military.
Yes, but we spent, what was it, like 10 trillion for the Middle East, and that was for what, 20 years, 25 years of and we've spent 200 billion in 21 fucking days. Like, I know inflation's bad, but fuck.
Yeah. I think inflation is maybe worse than people realize also.
But dude, that's like basically $1 trillion. That'd be like $3 trillion a year.
Yeah, that's about right.
Like we literally can't afford it. Like,
no.
just straight up. Like, that's.
We don't have to worry about affording it. We'll just print the money. It's okay. We've talked about this. It's okay.
We already solved that problem on the podcast. Unfortunately, the government is not listening to us on that one.
No. We still need to go on Truth Social, post our episodes there, and just at the president.
It's just it boggles me that like we're spending way more than what we should for bombing them.
Oh yeah,
200 billion.
Yep, it's a lot.
Ugh.
So yeah, the war is driving up military spending and energy costs. Speaking of energy costs, this is just a very random Zoidberg thought. The largest data center in the world is due to be built here in Ohio at a cost of $40 billion, 3,700 acres, and will use 10 gigawatts of power, which is a third of the Ohio power grid.
Jesus! Mm-hmm. Are they getting their own nuclear power reactor or something like that?
I think they're supposed to, because I think that was mandated recently that new data centers have to have their own power. But that I just saw that today, and that just kind of hit me.
Can your water supply like support that?
They may have to just drain Lake Erie or something. I don't know. And it might just be the Erie Basin.
That's going to be a fucking problem.
Yeah,
a lot of places are reporting water issues with those data centers.
Yeah, I know.
Also, it's going to be really weird in 10 years' time when AI becomes like a 100th of the draw once quantum computing comes out, and there's going to be these empty warehouses that were data centers.
Yeah, well, we can just turn them into 3D printing warehouses, and just print single-use items for the war effort.
Absolutely.
Did you see what I shared the other day?
We'll talk about it off stream.
Okay.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, I know.
I know my limits.
So the average person is going to get hit by the ancillary ripples of all the rising costs. It's going to be all the non-government organizations that are going to be supporting the various war efforts, because as oil goes up, shipping costs go up, which is going to mean groceries and living expenses are all going to be going up. And that's just going to trickle down into higher rents, higher taxes on things like property taxes. If you live in states that have personal property taxes, like on your cars and such, fuck those assholes. They will increase those to help cover things as well. So this is going to trickle down and hit literally everybody that it can in some way or another. So the private sector is starting to sound the alarm on the looming humanitarian crisis for all of this. And even in places like Colombia, they had an election back on March 8th. It was completely ignored, news-wise, I believe, because of Iran. So we have the government is starting to target tax cuts to win a seat in the House of Representatives, but gas in some areas is starting to spiral up towards $6-7 a gallon, California, because of the Persian Gulf blockade. So in that case, who's really winning? Because nobody is going to want to vote for somebody who cannot realistically do anything about the cost of living increase when it's just the market responding to the conditions. No sitting president or congressperson or senator can realistically affect real change for those prices. That's the
Not
market.
immediately.
Not immediately and not directly. Now, we can do things like institute more drilling, institute other technologies to do things like biofuels and ethanol type stuff. I know there was a thing with corn and go ahead.
Well, not only that, I want to point out that in Formula One currently they're using 100% man-made fuel.
Oh, that's
for all
cool.
the cars. So I know at some point there will be the case we can make fuels that we can just synthesize, that we can make 100% renewable.
We already can. I mean, look at the kid down from Georgia. He's proving that with his plastiline.
The catch is it'll be cost effective at some point. I guess what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
we're already there. If Trump was smart, by the way, before he did this whole Iran and Venezuela thing, so people don't realize that the U.S. government's the one that actually approves drilling and approves fracking and everything else for oil. We only have a handful of refineries. Why the fuck didn't they greenlight more refineries being built and more drilling that way to offset all of this? Like, I guess that's the part that kind of pissed me off. It's like, it seems like it's very short-sighted. It's like, if you know you're going to do this, or you know this is what's going to happen, you greenlight all this before then. That way you can also undercut those countries while we're doing it, so you can lower the amount of money they have and income they have, so it makes their defenses even worse. And especially countries like Iran and Venezuela, who like 70 to 80% of their export is oil, you could bankrupt them and say, oh yeah, by the way, now you don't have soldiers to pay. So it makes this whole thing a lot fucking easier. Granted, I'm just an idiot, but come on.
I mean,
rub the brain cells together here, guys.
If Rick Sanchez can collapse a galactic economy by setting a 0 or a 1 to a 0, we can sure as hell defeat a sand people economy by running their oil out. I mean, come on.
My favorite meme I saw the other day was like, it just is literally Iran. And it just is a Tuscan Raider instead of the gun, it's just a barrel of oil.
Yes.
It's just.
I saw that one.
It's like. I hate to say it's true.
Yeah.
But you would think, though, that the U.S. government would have had enough. Now, granted, I know what I'm saying is a joke here, but you think they would have had enough foresight to say, if we're going to be seeing this through in the next few years, let's make preparations.
Yeah.
Because right now, nobody, I'll be real, nobody I know is happy with the current administration for all this.
No, not even the people that voted.
No, I have not found a single person that's like, yes, I support this. Yes, I'm happy with the outcome. Because at the end of the day, everyone's already struggling. I don't know anybody that's not being hit by the economy right now that's like bitching about it all the fucking time.
Yeah, shit's expensive, man. People are having to like pool their collective resources. We've talked about it on the show before. Just hit myself in the face with my mic. We've talked about it on the show that people are combining households because they have to. And it's just going to get worse. So this is just going to make it an even more emphasized point.
Yeah, and unfortunately, with the loss of the American dream, people aren't going to be voting for people like Trump if they can't afford to do basic shit.
Yeah.
So
another Zoidberg thought, did you see that they're trying to, and I don't know if this is just a troll or something, but they're trying to put forth a new amendment that a president can serve more than 2 terms as long as the 3 terms are not done consecutively.
Oh, that'd be stupid. I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Because as it is, there should be term limits for people in Congress.
All of them.
The fact that we have people that have served for 30 fucking years, I think is insulting. So what it should be 2 years for a senator. That way, because there's 6 years, so it's 12 years total. It should be 3 terms for a representative. That would be 6 years.
Yeah.
That way it offsets. That way, you have 2 and the other one's 3, but that way it kind of rotates.
Yep.
So that way you don't get like the same groups like switching all the time, like all Democrat, then all Republican, then all Democrat. It would be mixed.
Yep.
But it should be that simple. But
yeah.
But no.
Yeah, it's term limits would be great, but I don't know that anyone's going to vote themselves out of a job. So it'll take something big. It'll take a citizen effort, I think, or somebody on their way out of office.
I was gonna say Trump literally should be. You know what he should do? He should do basically an executive order where the next budget bill can't pass unless that has it in it.
Yeah.
Just sign that, dot it. There you go. Have a nice day, or something stupid like that. Because quite frankly, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No one's job should ever be to be a senator for 40 years.
Yeah. No.
Fuck that.
The fact that somebody like Pelosi was in office longer than I've been alive, come on. I'm 44
Yeah.
fucking years old, and she's been in politics longer than I've been alive.
Yeah. And like she's not the only one. There are many of them.
Schumer and all those other asshats. And I mean, what, Cocaine Mitch McConnell? He's just as bad.
God, he looks like he is befuddled everywhere he goes now. He is so old. It's like, oh, it's just everything's a new experience to him. Like in a way, it's kind of endearing.
It is because he can't remember anything.
You know? Yeah, exactly. It's
So,
God, he just looks like a turtle that lost his shell years ago.
I mean, he kind of did.
I just can't.
I guess Congress is now the new retirement plan for Americans. We can't afford to retire, so we just go into public service and work there. So
I feel like I'm at the point where almost Vermin Supreme is seeming like an actually good candidate. If anyone who doesn't know who Vermin Supreme is, look him up, because
is he still wearing the boot on his head?
I hope he is. If not, I'll buy him another one. I will get him one. Don't you worry. I'll give him a saddle too. I got like 5 of them out in the barn. Just
good old Vermin Supreme.
The only serious candidate we have left.
That's terrifying.
Because I can't wait to do an episode about the upcoming election. Because good luck figuring out who's going to win on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck. All the debates are going to be fun, though.
Yeah,
I will say.
Yeah, I have to cover the governor debates and election very closely. Because we have the lady that shut down the state during the pandemic, and probably Vivek Ramaswamy, who ran for president.
He's controversial for some good, some bad.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily vote for her either.
She's a raging lunatic.
Oh, that bad?
Yeah. Yeah, if she gets into office, Ohio will probably turn into one of the more restrictive 2A states very quickly.
Yeah. That'll be fun. You'll be a suburb of Illinois, basically.
Yeah, because gun violence is a health crisis, by the way.
Not in Ohio.
Oh, no, everywhere. But she'll be in a position to do something about it.
It's all right. How do I say this without pissing people off? It's only a problem in areas with certain demographics. So like in 90% of Ohio, you're fine. So
yeah, well,
but
that's what we're dealing with. So
yeah, well,
you want to take the last section and close us out?
Oh, sure. The U.S.-China trade renegotiations are set for July. Russia is marking another anniversary of the Ukraine invasion. Oh my God. How many years have we been in Ukraine? What, 3 years now?
3 or 4, yeah.
3 or 4? God damn. If the midterms flip the House of the Opposition, does it actually cool off the war, or does it trigger an insurrection act, given the president emergency powers to stabilize the country during a conflict? So there's been actually a bit of an update with some of this information. So I don't know if you know this, but there are many prominent Democrats that are talking about if the House is flipped, they want to indict anybody that's currently in the Trump presidency or did work with him. The issue I see is if everything flips, you're going to have a government that is plagued with the inability to do anything.
Yep.
And then people are going to get more and more mad at the situation. I think the problem that's going to happen is you're going to have bureaucratic lockdowns, basically, where both sides are so mad to lose any sort of power, any sort of control, that effectively they're all just going to be sitting there saying, no, you should be arrested. You should be arrested. You should be indicted. Rather than actually do anything to help people, it's going to be the case of you did it, he cheated, just placing blame everywhere else.
And the bad thing is we already saw that towards the end of Trump's first term, and people forget.
Yeah. Yeah, except now it's going to be way worse because now that he won't be able to be back in, and I think a lot of the people that supported him are leaving. Like, so here's some breaking news. I don't know if you know this, but he just had one person resign in his administration.
Oh, yeah, because they didn't support the Iran stuff. Yeah.
And Tulsi Gabbard, I guess, is the next person leaving in the next few days.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yes. which she was a huge, big win. Moderates like myself. So one of the problems that's going to happen, I think, is a lot of people that are more moderates are jumping ship, and you're going to get this problem of near the end of his presidency, he's going to come under fire from both the left and the moderates. And the consequences of his administration, as much as I do not feel warrant being arrested, I think unfortunately it's going to further this political divide, and it's going to be much worse. I think especially when it comes to depending on who the Democratic candidate is and who the Republican candidate is. I'm hoping that Tulsi Gabbard takes this chance and maybe runs as a moderate or independent and can maybe be the level-headed solution, because I don't agree with everything she does, but at least she's far more moderate and willing to work with people.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't happen, we might be close to the Bolshevik type of revolution where they just jail the entire previous presidency and nothing stays the way that we're used to. It could upturn everything. So, and I know everybody says, oh, this is the most important election. Well, unfortunately, what happens is every year it seems like the pendulum swings worse and worse and worse to the point where eventually it's going to knock over the whole machine. So just keep it in mind that, watch the debates, pay attention to what's going on, and listen to the things that people in power are actually saying, because it's getting to a point where it's not just political differences. It's literally like cutthroat. Like they want to not just win their election, but they want to remove the person they're working against.
Yeah. And as things start to ramp up, be wary, because the supporters are getting more and more rabid on both sides. And I worry that we're going to see more and more political violence going forward.
Oh, yeah. So I think the problem we're going to see is going to be way worse than like the George Floyd riots.
Mm-hmm.
And the other problem we're going to have is false flags, where because of AI generated media and everything else, you're not going to know what to believe. And there will be entire riots spawned with things that never happened.
Yep.
So we will be entering the era of political strife where unless you physically see it in person, you don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. I think things are going to be getting a lot crazier.
It's going to get spicy.
I just advise people, like on a serious note, listen to a lot of people, ask questions, talk to people, and make sure you're communicating effectively and not just taking people at their words. I hate to say it. I don't care who they are, whether they're the president or a journalist or your best friend or whoever it is. It's going to be very hard to know what's real and what's not going forward. It's only going to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
And people will use this stuff to justify their beliefs. And
or their
unfortunately,
actions.
exactly. And it might get way worse than what you think.
Yeah.
So just keep, especially if we talk about like president emergency powers, I guess my concern is going to be, what if, shit hits the fan, and then now you truly enter an era where the next president never leaves. What if nothing is to be believed? What if history is rewritten? So my other bit of advice to people right now is, for any history that you have that if you happen to see old history books, or if you happen to see bits of printed media, I'm not one to collect books. I have some. I have like a small collection of history books, like maybe 20, just from different countries, that I thought was kind of cool. But this really might be the time to start writing things down, saving documents on your computer from Wikipedia, saving down entire encyclopedias and libraries, because I have a bad feeling that the next incoming administration, no matter who it is, from here on out, facts are going to be very subjective.
History could become fluid very quickly. And
that's a good way of putting it.
A good thing.
Yeah.
This is the Orwellian hellscape that I never thought would come to pass.
That's why we really should ban AI. We should ban AI from generating media.
Yeah.
It's one thing to do text documents or data, but I think media is something that we got to get rid of.
Yeah.
Or it has to be under like an approved media creation company that's like Paramount or something like that for like movies or entertainment,
Didn't they try that with the Department of Truth?
I know, right?
Oh, that's terrifying.
I don't know.
But yeah, on that happy, uplifting thought, I think that wraps us up for tonight.
Yeah.
So, hold your history books tight and keep your buttholes puckered, because these next, I think, 24 months are going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And
Up until the next election, it's going to be wild.
Yeah, I think interesting is really putting it mild. I want to be wrong about a lot of the things that I feel and hope and wonder about. But I worry that I'm right.
Yeah, we're just kind of, our podcast is kind of Nostradamus was overweight. Like, we're right way more of the time than we should be. That's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I'd much rather be wrong on a lot of this. But so far, we're damn near batting 1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's anything we predicted that's been 100% false.
Yeah. No. That'd be great for the listeners to go back and check us on. But
yeah,
there's not a lot. I can't think of anything off the top of our heads that we were like way off outside of the singularity stuff. But I mean, we were going off of news articles and everything else that we had at the time.
Well, we're not that far off from it, though.
We're really not. We still have, I think, another year.
Yeah.
And it's spiraling at us.
Because we were talking about like end of 2027.
Yeah.
For singularity stuff. So, I mean, if we don't see it till 2030, then I will admit, hey, we're wrong. But
I want to be wrong on that. I'm okay if we are.
Well, I don't know with that data center coming up in Ohio. Who the hell knows? That might be the that might be ground zero, buddy.
That could be Skynet's mainframe.
Yeah, that Ohio could be ground zero. All the internet memes are right about Ohio.
Ohio will be our downfall. Yeah, I mean, Anduril did secure the contracts for the military and the AI stuff. They are building. What?
Holy shit! Did you see the new stuff that Anduril's doing?
Yes, Anduril has a facility near me. Okay, it's not that far away.
So
I have to keep an eye on Anduril.
So for viewers and listeners to understand, they ended up with an AI integrated surveillance system that can look at people and then pull up the license plate number, pull up the person, pull up social media information, where they're going, establish patterns, establish tracking, and you can just click it to monitor without human observation. It will fucking monitor that person.
Anduril is quickly becoming a very Black Mirror company. And I wanted to pursue employment with Anduril until I started seeing all this.
To be fair, if they pay enough,
it's one of the few places that I could go to that would be a pay increase for me. Because with my line of work, there's not a lot of, because I don't have a college degree. And with the way things have panned out, I've been very lucky and fortunate to get where I am and with what I've got. But Anduril, if I was lucky enough to get hired there, it would be potentially a pay raise. It could be lateral, but I don't know. But with all the shit they're doing, I don't think I could justify literally working for the Terminators and Skynet, or what's equivalent to Skynet. Maybe Legion on the new timeline.
No.
It's horrifying if you look at all the stuff that they're doing. They've got contracts with like OpenAI. And
well, imagine a private company that's able to track you wherever you go on the planet.
Yeah. We have done far too many episodes about that type of shit. And it's just like, okay, this is starting to come true. And it's just getting worse. So I can't do it.
Yeah, no, especially there's no government oversight, no government overreach, there's no permission. It's, hey, they spot somebody they want to track, they can track them.
Oh, it's worse because they actually have contracts with the government now.
Yeah.
So they don't need oversight. They have government backing.
God.
So no oversight needed.
On a side note, if we could get a Blackwater group to work with them and kind of hunt terrorists internationally, You know,
Well,
get
then
your
it'd be
little sidekick
okay.
going.
Then they could just let loose the robot dogs of war, and this whole Iran
Yeah.
situation would be over in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or just drones.
No.
Get the cheap Ukrainian drones. You know?
No. Gibbs, oh my God. Like mental nuclear bomb. They make goat drones. They make drones that look like goats, and they send them over to the Middle East, and the problem will solve itself.
I can't. I don't know if I can make this joke on stream, but
Do it.
oh my God.
Do it.
Oh my God. I just read the headline of, mass amounts of Islamic men missing their genitalia in the Middle East because the goat drones blowing up. I'll have to tell you. Oh man. But no, seriously, if Anduril were to combine with another like drone company,
Well, they make their own drones, so it doesn't matter.
oh yeah, but like I'm saying, even now, like
Yeah.
they could topple entire governments in a matter of hours.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah. I mean, the goat drone thing works because drones don't have HR departments, so there's nothing to worry about.
Take me to your HR department. I'd like to file a complaint. Oh man. Oh man, that would be hilarious if you call them a wireback and then you get fucking sent to robot HR. We don't appreciate your tone.
Oh shit.
Oh my God. I'd have a good laugh.
Yeah.
But then this is all going to become a flip thing when like they officially label sentient robots as people.
Yeah.
So we have a limited window to send these suicide drones, and after that, they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because at that point we can't make drones that, detonate on impact because that's murder. Double murder, I guess.
No, it all depends if abortion is still legal. That's going to be kind of a,
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny? If you're in a state where abortion is legal, like Colorado, up until the last day, but yet using drones isn't.
Or vice versa. Using drones is, but, the other one's not.
That's God. We live in a weird world. America's a silly country.
Yes, it is. And with that, I think that's going to wrap us up for tonight. So thank you all for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I know this kind of material tends to get a little dry. We try to keep it nice and moist and ready to play. But, it is what it is. So don't look at me in that tone of voice, Gibbs. You know what it does to me.
This is the only tone I have to look at you with.
It makes me so moist, Gibbs.
No.
But anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed the show and will join us next week. Hopefully Gibbles is feeling better and is able to come back and join us. So live show, we're getting a little bit closer to that. We're about April, May, June, July, August. We're less than 6 months away from the live show. That's a scary thought. So we hope you guys can join us for that. Other than
That'll
that,
be fun.
It should be a really good time. Good conversation, good company, good drinks, great atmosphere, and we'll start pumping details out like that, like a teenager on a prom date. So we'll get that out to you guys soon. Thanks again for hanging out. We love y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye. All right, recording stopped. Oh, that will take us out to the post show. And this, let me go get the episode count so that I know what we're looking
17?
at. We might be at 18.
18? I do think at some point we might want to do like a small season break. Leading into season 3.
Oh, that.
But we have some time.
Yeah. 18. This is 18.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Just because I do have another small round of weddings, but it's only a couple. So we're better off this time.
Well, we could just do like a mid-season break, and not roll into season 3.
I wonder if we can get our hands on the new like AI and just have Mansley do an episode solo.
That'd be fucking great.
Mansley and Bagley.
Oh,
Oh
God.
my god.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Bagley sounds like Towley, just a little high, you know. Hi kids, I'm Bagley. I've got all
first
the extra
round is
chromosomes.
definitely not on me, Wookie. No. We should hopefully have tickets that people can buy to where the plan is seating with tickets, standing room with no tickets. That's like sense. My grand plan. And if you buy a ticket, there will be at least a drink included. Maybe
I'm
two.
just gonna wait to drink till we get to your house.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll have a couple there.
Yeah, I'll have one or two while we're on stage. But
oh Jesus!
I was also thinking about taking an edible before we do the show.
You want to mix them both? Ooh, be crossfaded. That's dangerous.
Well, how often do we do a live show? Go for broke.
Oof.
Got to go for broke, buddy.
See oh God, how do I say this without getting us canceled? Never mind. I'll have to talk about that later.
Okay.
But I feel like if you're crossfade, it's gonna be another episode of oh God, how do I say this? Rate my sex toy collection is what that's gonna end up becoming.
I mean, that wouldn't be the worst thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Listen, I know I'm a lightweight Wookiee, but damn. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be crossfaded. I'd be fucking useless.
No, I'm not going to get crossfaded. I might take part of like a very small low dose edible. Probably just more so for nerves, but
okay.
I will definitely be having a drink on stage.
See, as someone that has spent many years performing on stage, not like the way you're thinking, I have no problem performing in front of people. So
donkey shows are a weird thing. Yeah.
No, not like that. Not like that.
Yeah. So, but no. Also, the guys that own the bar are going to be there. We'll probably do a small intro with them. I don't think either of them are going to want to stick around for very long, but one guy might be okay sticking around if we want to have him included.
Yeah, more than welcome to.
So yeah, we can have stuff pulled up.
We're gonna have like a Q&A, and we're gonna have like a suggest episode thing, and
yeah,
suggest a topic.
Yeah. So, but yeah, with all the changing stuff on data centers, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that for the episode, just because the stuff around them is changing very rapidly, and a lot of the stuff that's like big talking points is getting handled legislatively.
Okay.
So, I don't know. We
might be well as wait a little bit till we
yeah
address things.
Yeah, which if that's the case, then I would like to do that episode here, and we'll do something else for the live show.
I have some ideas for the live show, but I definitely want to have
well, fucking put them on the list.
Well, I'm trying to work out one of them right now.
Okay.
So.
Good deal.
You know what though? We do need to come up, I think, with a couple of episode ideas, like where we all make, like, all three of us have suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I would love to do one that's like, what's your top 10 inventions in human history? Or we could even do like some military talk, like, interesting bits of military history or military inventions, stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
like some more general stuff.
Okay.
It'd be kind of fun.
I'd be good with that.
Some more,
Gibbs would not run a poll.
I'd break it. I'd snap it in half. Are you fucking kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
Yeah, Gibbs does not work the poll.
I've got to go for that.
Yes. So, but I think that's going to go ahead and do us in for the post show. I know you've got editing to do, and I've got some stuff to get done around the house before it gets too late. So, thank you everybody for hanging out with us on the streams.
Woo!
Same deal. I hope you all enjoyed everything tonight, and we hope you guys will join us next week.
Hell yeah.
So we will see you guys hopefully next week, and everyone have a good week. Keep your